part 2 of reincarnations. Basically, we find ourselves confronted with the exact same situation over and over, difficult situations over and over again in our life, in this lifetime. And if we don't learn the lesson, we come back to learn the exact same lesson over and we come in. The problem is when we come to Earth, when we are born, before we come in, we agree to what is called the forgetting process, according to the law of one, the raw material. That's what it's called, a forgetting process that we go through when we are born. The forgetting process basically makes us forget everything who we were before we came here, what planet we came from, what dimension we were, what type of an entity we were, whether or not we came in from a fourth density, a fifth density, whether we were a celestial entity before we came here, whether or not we were, starseed or wonder, or whatever you want to call it, or whether we came from a two-dimensional. We forget what we came from. Actually, it's called the forgetting process, according to the law of one, the raw material. So in order to overcome the forgetting process and to learn the lessons that are these, so that we can maneuver our way through these difficult situations in our lives, is through meditation. That is one of the key benefits of meditation. Meditation allows us to go inward and remembering who we were to some degree or another. As we meditate repeatedly, it is the only tool that is available to humanity, and to the most being on the entire universe. Will tell you meditation is key into remembering who we really are and what we really came here to do, and why we go into these difficult situations. Why are we being confronted over and over again by these repeated circumstances that are very difficult? It is the best way, is through meditation. We will receive messages if we meditate on a regular basis. We will receive messages from our higher selves, from the Creator, the infinite Creator, extension of which is within us. And by receiving those messages, we will be able to maneuver our way a lot smoother through this existence, this lifetime, and evolve spiritually, which is really why we came here, to evolve to all the different experiences, the circumstances that we are presented with. That's the reason but if we remembered before we came here, we wouldn't have learned any lesson, because then we already know. That's the reason when we call on celestial angels, a lot of time they may not respond. Not a lot, but yeah, often they do not respond to our calls. It's because we came in to learn a lesson. So when we are facing with a difficult situation, a lot of time we start calling on angels for help. The angels, they hear us. They do hear us calling for help, but they do not want to intervene, because they have what is called, they respect the law of infringement. They do not want to infringe upon us according to the law of one. They have to respect our own free will, because we made a free will decision to come into Earth, to this incarnation. And as a result, we cannot be told, it's like, I can't think of a good metaphor, but we came in to learn. We made that decision out of our own free will, to our own consent, to come in and go to the forgetting process. So when we call on angels, we go into a difficult situation. We're supposed to maneuver our way out of it on our own and learn from the lesson it has to teach us, that we came to learn. And if angels step in to help us, talk about positive angels. If they come, yeah, they are negative angels as well. But if we come in if they step forward to help us through that situation, what happens is that we don't learn the lesson that we came to learn, and we ended up not evolve spiritually, because the angels stepped in and helped us. Very often when you call in angels, when you call for help from the higher realm, be aware of the fact that there are negative beings that can respond. The positive entities, positive celestial entities, do have a very strong respect. They abide by the law of one, infringement. They will not infringe on your free will. So they do not respond. If they don't respond, it means the answer to your request would have been an infringement on your free will, on your purpose of incarnation, of reincarnation, whatever pre-incarnative agreement you made. So we need to work our way into remembering the forgetting process, going through the forgetting process, and remembering why we came here in the first place, and why we're dealing with this particular difficult situation. I may sound like I'm repeating myself, but that is the purpose. I really want to get this message across, because it is so important to understand incarnation and reincarnations for humanity, and if it is not understood, it is very often confused. And so I think it's very important that we find a way that to meditate and to communicate with our higher selves and benefit. The true benefits of meditation is to get us through the forgetting process so we can receive divine celestial communication from our higher self and from higher realm, from celestial positive entities that are more than happy to assist us if we were to meditate. But if we're not doing any meditation, I doubt it that we would receive any support from higher entity, from higher positive celestial realm, because they really want us to focus on meditation, and so that we can learn for our own personal purposes, and then move upward, evolve spiritually. I guess that's what so this is part 2 of my incarnation, spiritual, of incarnations and reincarnations. I may have to do a part 3 on it because I think it's very important, and I may do another one on physical ailments that are, medical conditions. So some of them are also pre-incarnative agreement and things like that we have to go through. So it's incarnation and reincarnation. It's very important to grasp that, to understand that according to the raw material, that we understand it and we try to do our very best to evolve spiritually by understanding the whole concept of incarnation, reincarnations, whichever word you want to prefer. But I hope that makes sense what I just said, and I may do a part 3, I'm not sure, but this was part 2 of incarnation and reincarnation, handling the difficulties, the repeated difficulties that we come across in this lifetime, and how to maneuver our way through that. I hope that makes sense. Until then, I send you love, light, peace, and thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye. Let us go in love and forgiveness. Thank you.